Sony RX10 III review. With smartphone cameras getting better by the day, the compact camera segment isn't flourishing like it once used to. There are some things a compact camera can do that most smartphones can only dream of, most notably optical zoom, but other than this, you can achieve remarkable quality photos and video with many of today's phones. On the other hand, the premium camera segment is still going strong as these products tend to offer DSLR-level features and performance while still being inconspicuous enough to travel around fault with. Sony has been especially successful in this area with its popular RX10 series. Today, we'll be reviewing the RX10's super zoom cousin, called the RX10 III, which Sony launched in India back in April. Armed with a new lens and higher zoom capability than its predecessor, is the RX10 III worth its hefty Rs. 1,14,990 asking price? Although it's part of Sony's compact cybershot camera lineup, there's nothing small about the RX10 III. Its body is about the size of an entry-level DSLR and it's on the heavier side, weighing just over a kilo. The lens is also quite large for a compact camera, 72mm, but most of the lens barrel retracts into the camera body, making it relatively portable. The three rings around the barrel let you adjust the zoom level, focus and aperture. You can swap the functions of the zoom and focus rings in settings if you prefer. The aperture ring offers a smooth progression through the range, but you can enable click feedback with a toggle switch placed below the lens. There's a focus hold button just where your thumb would be, and a button to cycle between manual AF, DMF, direct manual focus, continuous AF, and single shot AF. There's sufficient rubber cladding that offers good grip for your right palm, and we like what Sony has done with the ergonomics. Despite its plastic body, the RX10 III feels well put together. What we didn't like is the tactile feedback of some of the rear buttons, which feel a bit cheap. The camera isn't built to withstand the elements of nature, but the ports get dust and water resistant flaps. On the left, we have 3.5mm headphones and microphone ports, a micro HDMI output, and a micro USB port for charging/data transfer. Just like the Sony a6300 review, you can charge this camera using a high-capacity power bank. There's an SD or memory stick duo card slot on the right, and a battery compartment on the bottom. The top of the camera houses the mode dial, backlit display, more shortcut buttons, and a dedicated dial for exposure compensation. The power switch is coupled with the shutter release button and the zoom rocker. Nearly every shortcut button can be remapped to perform a different function, so you can customize the layout to suit your shooting style. However, we wish the C2 and C1 buttons had been a bit closer to the shutter button, as they're a bit out of reach of the index finger. The 3-inch LCD display is sadly not touch capable, but the brightness level and resolution, 1.2 million dots, are fairly good. It flips outwards and can be moved up or down to a certain degree, but it can't flip around backwards. Sony has gone with an XGA OLED electronic viewfinder, EVF, with a 0.70x magnification level and 2.3 million dot resolution. This comes in handy in bright sunlight that tends to wash out LCD displays. The Sony RX10 III ships with a rechargeable battery, power adapter, shoulder strap, and a lens hood. There's also a card in the box with that you can register for your 2-year warranty. Two of the biggest reasons to give the RX10 III a second glaze over a DSLR are the 25x zoom range and high frame rate, HFR, shooting mode. The camera boasts of a 20.1 megapixel stacked CMOS sensor, 1 inch, with a dedicated DRAM chip attached to it, which is capable of buffering 250 fps, 500 fps, and 1000 fps slow motion videos. It also uses a contrast detection autofocus system, just like its predecessor. The 18-element Zeiss Varial Sonor T-lens has a focal length of 8.8mm to 220mm, 24 to 600mm, 35mm equivalent, which is much more than what its predecessor offered. Sony has also managed to keep the aperture fairly wide at just f/4 at the extreme telephoto end, which is good for low-light shots. Other features include an ISO range of 112,800 with 1/3 increments, burst mode of up to 14 fps in speed priority mode, RAW capture, ARW 2.3 format, a shutter range of 30 seconds to 1/2000th seconds, and 4K video recording. The RX10 III also supports professional level S-gamut and S-Log2 video modes for advanced color grading and post-production. The RX10 III features Wi-Fi and NFC for pairing with Sony's Play Memories smartphone app.
You can use this to transfer pictures to your smartphone for quick sharing or use your phone as a viewfinder for remote shooting. We've seen this before with the A6300 and it functions the same here. The same goes for the menu system, which is not the easiest to navigate, but you get accustomed to it after a bit. There's a built-in app store which lets you add functions to the camera such as different effects that can be applied to your pictures.